Mr. President, thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Coronavirus, how's it going? Give us an update, if you don't
I think it's really going well. We did something very fortunate. We closed up to certain areas of the world very, very early, far earlier than we were supposed to. I took a lot of heat for doing it. It turned out to be the right move. And we only have 15 people, and they're getting better, and hopefully they're all better soon. There's one who's quite sick, but maybe is going to be fine.
Are Pelosi and the Democrats doing enough to help you, to support you in your push to make sure that there's not an epidemic here in the United States?
Well, they're forcing money because they want to make, we needed $2.5 billion, and they want to give us $8.5 billion. So I said, I'll take it. I'll take it. If you want to do that, we'll take it. But they're very disparaging. Every time they have a chance, they say, "Oh, he should do more." There's nothing more you can do. We have the greatest professionals in the world, and you put a camera in their face and they'll just disparage, and they won't even know. They know we're doing a great job. We have great people. We're prepared for the worst, but we think we're going to be very fortunate.
There's a headline in the New York Times, opinion editor, but nonetheless New York Times, who said it's a Trump virus.
Well, I've known her for a long time, and stone cold loser. This woman is just a woman that is so untalented. And they want to write, that's the New York Times. I call it the failing New York Times. Before I ran, that paper was going out of business, and it'll go out someday in, let's say, 5 years or so, and when we wrap it up. But the country is doing really well. We got hit by this unexpected situation from China, and it'll all work out. It'll all work out fine.
You're in South Carolina, big primary coming up. Tell us about South Carolina and the Trump vote.
Well, I think we have a very strong vote. We essentially don't have a primary. We have a big win. We've been doing, where we do have little primaries, we've been getting tremendous amounts of votes. You saw it, record votes. You spoke to me about it. It was a record in Iowa, a record in New Hampshire. So we're really sort of observers a little bit here, and we just hope that the best person wins, and then we're going to take the best.
Any predictions?
So I think that a lot of money is being spent by a couple of them. Nobody ever heard of Steyer. I don't know who he is, where he comes from. I don't see him.
He loves coal but hates coal?
Well, he made money with coal, and then he goes around complaining about coal. He's a total phony. And Biden is Biden. He said 150 million people were killed by guns in our nation. That's half our population. Nobody told me about that. If I ever said that, they'd run me out of town. I'd be gone.
He's lost a few steps, I think, Mr. President. He can't figure out his numbers. Sometimes he can't even figure out what state he's in.
I don't quite get it, but whatever. 6 times with the wrong states. You do that, that's game-changing.
It's a pattern.
But not for him. And then Bernie is Bernie, right? Bernie is
You and I made a little news by accident. I was watching the debate, and I said, I'm 100% Trump, but if I had to pick one of these people on stage right now, I guess I'd prefer it to be Buttigieg. You retweeted me, and it went kind of viral.
I think I'm sorry to do that to you, but maybe it helps. I mean, it's good. Your career can't get any better, so I'm not worried about that.
Mr. President, final question. Recently, an NFL representative, I guess we call him, called you the first African-American president. Your thoughts about that?
Well, he was very nice in doing it, and I'm very honored by it, and we've done a lot for the African-American people and community. We have between opportunity zones and all of that we've done for criminal justice reform. We got criminal justice reform done, and nobody else could have done it. And I think one of the big things that nobody even really understands, even though we say it all the time, the best job numbers African Americans have ever had, the best numbers, by far the best numbers. So a lot of things are going great, and I think we're going to do very well with the African American or black vote.
You're a very busy man. We appreciate you taking some time to join us on Sinclair America this week.
You've been a friend of mine for a long time.
Mr. President, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Eric. Appreciate it.